down that path.
LaGuardia Airport native information Echo 19510 Zulu.
Well, clear to land runway 04, and 3.
Approach American 19, short of 3-1, ready to go.
United 1223, radar contact, say altitude.
Just passing through 2800, dotted 122.
United 1223, turn right heading 360, climb and maintain 10,000.
360 up to 10,000, 116.
United 523, direct merit, climb and maintain 17,000.
Direct merit up to 17,000, 523.
American 915, runway 31, line up and wait, traffic landing runway 4.
Line up and wait 31, American 915.
United 1223, turn right heading 040, direct merit when able.
Yeah, 040, direct merit, 1123.
November 922, Whiskey Delta, taxi to parking via Zulu. American 1631, welcome to Newark, continue straight ahead Juliet, cross runway 4 left, Juliet Alpha to the ramp. Sorry, Juliet Romeo Golf Alpha to the ramp, this frequency. American 1631, continue straight ahead Juliet, cross runway 4 left. Then Juliet, Romeo Golf Alpha to the ramp, this frequency.
Hello everybody and welcome to VFR Today. We are here doing a quick live stream at LaGuardia International Airport in New York, New York. Heading down to Washington, Reagan National Airport, KDCA. Should be a fun flight. It's cold out on the East Coast today. But weather should be fine. Heavy winds. And we've come into a pretty busy day at LaGuardia, so this should be interesting to get out. We do have some controllers online, so it'll be should be a good flight. We're in the CRJ-700 today in American Eagle colors. And we're starting from cold torque, so we're going to get set up.
018, gust 26, runway 31, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 3.
LaGuardia Airport native information Echo 19510 Zulu. 1320 at 18 gust 26. Visibility 10. 4,000 scattered. Ceiling 6,000 broken. Temperature 1. Dew point -9er. Altimeter 2986. Park visual runway 31 approach in use. ILS runway 4 approach available upon request. Departing runway 31. Bird activity in vicinity of LaGuardia Airport. Operate transponder on most Charlie on all taxiways and runways. Advise on initial contact. You have information Echo.
All right, so we've got information Echo on board, runway 31. That's what we've flight planned in for today. We're going to be flying out, departing runway 31 from LaGuardia, it looks like, and then tracking down to runway 1. That is coming kind of from the southeast, landing west into DCA today. So, getting the Apu started. We've got IRS to align, and we'll get our lights on, nav lights, and we will put on our logo lights as well. For our payload for today, it'll be a relatively, well, it will be a full flight. We'll say 69 passengers and a good chunk of cargo. We are slated to carry about 8,000 pounds of fuel, so 10,000 will do for today. We'll add a little bit more just because LaGuardia is a bit busy right now. Set that payload. So fuel has been loaded. Passengers and baggage are loading as we speak. We've got that initiated from the sim. Coming down to the FMS. Starting to work through when we can tune back to frequency now. We do have a New York approach online, or New York departure and approach. So we've got an departure controller and approach controller. So we'll be talking to departure out of LaGuardia. We are at KLGA. And we will grab our position. Okay. So our positive is in. Start punching in the flight plan, KLGA. To KDCA. This should be about an hour and 10-minute flight. Down to Washington, D.C. Today we are Brickyard.
American 915, proceed direct Merritt, climb and maintain 17,000.
1616.
Direct Merit and up to 17,000 American 915.
And our alternate is going to be K Pitt. And we're going to get our
15, contact Boston Center now, 134.7.
We're going to try and get our clearance before we punch too much in. Cruising altitude requested 170. Will be fairly low. We can init the rest of this from the EFB. And we can change that. We'll look at winds maybe in a little bit, depending on how much time we have. All right, so we've got the radio set up. We are ready to squawk whatever they tell us. And we have a message. So pre-departure clearance, don't reply to this message. 2011 Zulu, we are squawking 1055, cruising at 17,000. We're going LGA 7 Biggie Q75 MXE Clipper 2 into DCA. Departure frequency on 340. We'll maintain 5,000 on departure. We'll be on the LaGuardia 7 on 119.2, the frequency we're on. We're planning on runway 31 for departure. And we will contact them for taxi with the SID and our squawk code. So we will go ahead and write that down. We're squawking 1055. And then we'll be climb maintain 5000. And current ATIS is Echo. Okay, excellent. So we're going to punch that into our flight plan. LaGuardia is always a little bit interesting to get out of, because I feel like going down to I go down to DC a fair amount from these New York airports, and that is sometimes interesting. So we're going to take LaGuardia 7, departing runway 31. And then we will be going to Biggie. Q75, the airway. Down to MXE. I can't remember what off the top of my head MXE is, but it's around the Baltimore area. And then we'll be taking Clipper 2 into DCA. So we can come out of the arrival. Clipper 2. We'll plan for the RNAV runway 1. Verifying that on VATSPY. We do have a DCA ATIS.
Aircraft calling New York City again, please. 555.
It looks like it's just METAR. Okay, so we will plan for runway 1, because that's what they're doing in real life, but we will we'll see about that. Okay, executing that. Go down to legs, clean up the flight plan a little bit. Got a discontinuity, we can delete. Okay, so flight plan looks good. We are going to be, let's just take a run through real quick. Go the right direction. We're going to be departing out to the east to Biggie. And then down to MXE, and that'll begin our descent onto the Clipper 2 arrival into DCA. We will fly past Baltimore. Eyes, and then we'll kind of come onto a long downwind of runway 1 is the plan. Clipper 2, we can also go to 19 if that's what they if that's what we get when we get down there. All right, so no smoking signs are going to come on. Seatbelt signs are on. Arming emergency lights. Lighting's pretty good for now. We'll see when we get a little bit further on. Wipers are parked. Hit the 2 buttons, radar and TV or TFC. And we will just set the V speeds from the. We're going to do a flap 8. Well, actually, let's call it snow or ice. I'm going to call it ice because it's probably pretty well cleaned up. And KLGA. It didn't catch the altimeter. 29086. So we'll put 29086. Spoilers are retracted. We will arm the reversers. And hit all our buttons. Stab trim, mock trim, and yaw damper. And we've received our PDC. So we have IFR clearance. Nav source, important to verify. We are in FMS1, that's correct. And we've got V speeds. We're going to be, our decision speed 122, V rotate 131, and then 142 we'll be climbing out. All right, let me just check the PDC. I believe we're going to be pushing our discretion. We're calling them for taxi. So we'll use our omniscient camera just to make sure we're not running into anybody. Looks like we're pretty clear of other folks. maybe a southwest down in that area. So we're going to push out to the left a little bit when we're ready to go. APU's running, so let's go ahead and get rid of our ground power and close the doors.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Okay, so again, we're going to be calling them up with the assigned SID. That's the LaGuardia 7, LGA 7. I should put the pad up on chart Fox 2. So LaGuardia 7, and then we will go ahead and get started. LaGuardia 7 squawking 1055. Squawking 1055, we'll squawk on that one. And the current ATIS, which last I checked was Echo. And I'm just writing this down on my little scratch pad, make sure I know what's going on. So RPA 1616, we're CRJ-7 with LaGuardia 7, 1055, and info Echo. All right, so doors are going to be closed once we get rid of the jetway here.
Captain, the
Okay,
cabin
so there we go, a little bit,
all passengers are aboard.
just a little bit wonky. So as we get ready, windows and doors are closed and locked. Parking brake is on. We're going to turn on our beacon. We are going to turn on our left and right fuel boost. Hydraulics can go on or to auto. And then we'll sort our air conditioning as well. Packs can go on. We'll turn on recirc. And everything else should be okay. We can turn on our window heat to low. We may need high today. It's going to be very cold. And the last thing before we push back, wheel chocks need to be removed. Just take one last look around to make sure we are clear here at LaGuardia. And we'll see who else is coming out of LaGuardia. So we have another American A320. We have a CRJ-200, an Endeavor heading to Providence. And what's this one? An MD-83 going to Chicago. All right, so we will call the tug, and I'm using pushback. I think I'm using pushback helper. I don't even remember. On the other end, and once they're all set up, we will get ready to start the engines. All right, and welcome aboard if you're joining us for the first time or you're joining us on our live stream. This is kind of the first time I've done a VATSIM live stream. So it's a, you know, there's a lot that I'm sure is going to go on, but I'm trying to do a route that I know fairly well. So that hopefully helps. And we're going to push back basically a little bit out and a little bit to the left. We'll go ahead and start with the right engine. And at this point, we can just keep it kind of straight. Right into that 20% so we can uncage and bring it into action. That's going to be good for us. We'll let that finish firing up. And at that point, we can start second engine. And we are on 119.2, so that's just fine. And thank the Tug Forward Services. So just planning our taxi out. Runway 31, and in fact, we can just pull up the chart and talk through it. Let's hit the button on engine 2. So here's the chart for LaGuardia. We are kind of out here in this general area. We're going to be going out basically probably on Alpha or Bravo, depending on which way they're running, out to 3-1, which is down here, and then we'll take off. Fairly simple as far as a taxi is concerned. And that's 23.2 on the second engine. So we'll bring them into the idle position. And also just making sure the physical controls are working. Yep, we've got throttle, we've got brakes, we're all good. All right, back to the checklist. We've got throttles uncaged. Let's go up to the top panel. Generator 1, 2 are in auto.
Approach, correction, Gulfstream 614 Mike Fox.
Cross flow override. It's going to go to manual. Bleed flow is an auto.
Gulfstream 614
We'll
Mike
stop
Fox,
the APU once
approach,
we make sure the airport, the engines
30,
are all running. Anti-ice.
20, gust 26, runway
We're going to make sure probe heat is on, and
Runway 29,
I would imagine we're going to use some anti-ice on the initial climb out, but we'll see where exactly where these clouds are. Batteries on. We've got electricity. We will arm the nose wheel steering. Taxi light can come on. Transponder, we are squawking 1055. And let's just make sure that takeoff trim and flaps are set. I do this now. Usually it's kind of spelled out closer to takeoff, but I got to look up numbers and edit things, and it's better not to do that while moving. 7.5 is our takeoff trim. We're doing a flaps 8 takeoff, so we'll just knock flaps into flaps 8. We got 2 engines, so looks good. We will go ahead and stop the APU. So hit stop and close the door. All right, we're about ready for our first radio call here. Always a big moment. And just going through what they told us. We're going to be Brickyard 1616. Departing on the LaGuardia 7 departure. Squawking 1055. We got information echo on board. Just verifying run 119.2. New York departure, Brickyard 1616 is departing on the is at LaGuardia. We're departing LaGuardia 7, squawking 1055. We've got information echo on board, ready to taxi.
Brickyard 1616, New York departure. Good afternoon. Runway 31, taxi via Alpha Zulu.
Taxi runway 31 via Alpha Zulu, Brickyard 1616. All right, so yep, like we said, Alpha Zulu, that's going to be the taxiway kind of closest to us. Not sure if the ones here are right. It doesn't really look like it. One last look at the checklist before taxi. We're good to go, so let's give it a little power. And remove the parking brakes. get on our way. We do have a car coming across us. It's a little bit risky. All right, and a good snowy day. It's a little bit different scenery for this flight, which should be fun. Got some impressive cloud formations. Glad live weather is back with us.
LaGuardia Towers, good afternoon, Delta 306 at 2,500, inbound Shay.
Delta 306 near approach, good afternoon. Wind 32018, gust 26, runway 31, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 31, Delta 306.
Alright, and just making sure. We're going to set our heading out to 310. I think it's departure, actually 314. Just in case. And then setting an altitude of 5,000. We've been cleared to climb to maintain 5,000. And then as far as other ATC in the area, New York Center is still not online, so I don't know if they're going to hand us off to approach or not. But the other frequency that we might run into is probably 120.8. Again, I don't think so, but...
Gulfstream 4 Mike Foxtrot, next right turn, then Zulu to the ramp, remain this frequency. Spirit Wings 232, just confirm you've got the departure and squawk 1063.
A firm wind today here at LaGuardia.
Yeah, Spirit Wings 232, squawk 1063. And you can taxi runway 31 via Alpha Zulu. Correction, you're at Newark, not LaGuardia, sorry. Runway 4 left via Alpha Alpha Alpha.
I was going to say. Couldn't hear him.
Brickyard 1616, hold short, runway 31, landing traffic.
Hold short, runway 31, Brickyard 1616. Alright, good. So I like to hold short. It's okay. Thrust reversers, armed. Yep. Spoilers, retracted. Transponder is on and squawking.
1120 with you, bridge visual 29.
Brake temps are green. Cabin crew, I think they've been
1120
notified.
Newark approach, good afternoon. Wind 300 at 20, gust 26.
We're waiting on takeoff clearance on departure.
Clear to land, 29er, JetBlue 1120.
We are going to be departing on LaGuardia 7. 314, and then we'll get vectors probably to around the to Biggie. Let's go ahead and see the so taking off runway 31, we're going to climb heading 314, maintain 5,000, and then we're going to expect our vectors over to Biggie per the chart. I don't mind vectors. So we have an altitude 5,000. Heading is set to 314.
I got a towers, Delta 306, located by a tango.
See if we can see this landing traffic.
Delta 306, taxi to the ramp via, you've got Tango, Papa, Golf, Alpha, remain this frequency.
To the ramp via Tango, Papa, Golf, Alpha, Delta 306.
Brickyard 1616, wind 320 at 18, gust 26, runway 31, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 31, Brickyard 1616. And away we go. As we roll out, we're going to hit Toga. And again, we're going to maintain runway heading 314, climbing up to 5,000 feet. until they tell us to turn a different direction. There's Toga. The number says 31, which is a good sign. And there's Toga Power. Airspeed's alive. We're going to be rotating at 131 today. And there's V1. Just pulling back on the stick now. V2 and we're away. That must have been the arriving traffic. Gear coming up. Flaps coming up. And we'll come back into climb power.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Alright, we'll queue up heading mode. And speed climb mode.
Brickyard 1616, radar contact, stay altitude.
Climbing through 1,600 feet.
Brickyard 1616, climb and maintain 15,000.
Climb and maintain 15,000, Brickyard 1616. Alright, so we can go ahead and engage our, we'll engage the autopilot. Holding a heading of 314, and we'll be going up to altitude 15,000.
Your departure, FedEx 569, radio check.
FedEx 569, 5x5.
Alright, looks like we got our audio fixed. FedEx 569, FedEx ramp, hotel, squawk 10.
At this point, we are going to turn on our anti-ice as we pass through these clouds,
FedEx
just to
569,
make sure nothing happens.
Taxi via Alpha Zulu.
4 left, Alpha Zulu, FedEx 569, thanks.
Spirit Links 232, runway 4 left, line up and wait, traffic landing, runway 29er.
4 left, line up and wait, Spirit Links 232.
And we'll also go ahead and build up some speed as we're climbing out here. Alright, we got a little bit of teleporting going on Volanta, but that's alright. Check back. After takeoff checklist, gear retracted, flaps retracted, reversers can be turned off. We can turn taxi lights off.
Brickyard 1616, turn left heading 270, direct Big E when able.
Left heading 270, direct Big E when able, Brickyard 1616. We're going to turn left 270. And then we can punch in a direct Big E.
Spirit Links 232, wind 300 with 20, gust 26, runway 4 left, clear for takeoff.
4 left, clear for takeoff, Spirit Links 232.
So we didn't turn our landing lights on, but that's okay. Crossfire override off, going back to auto. We're not quite at transition altitude yet, but once we hit that, we will go up to, once we hit transition altitude 18,000 feet, we will go back to 2992. Anti-ice, we've got it all on as we climb through this initial cloud layer.
20, welcome to Newark.
Then we should be able to turn it off.
Uniform Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Alright, so we are able, we're going to go over to nav, go direct Big E now. And, yeah, so now we're climbing out. 250 knots, climbing out for 15,000. Let's see if we can get a wing view going.
Brickyard 1616, climb and maintain 17,000.
Climb maintain 17,000, Brickyard 1616. And we'll bump it up by another 2,000. To get up to 17,000. Alright, and if you're just joining us, welcome aboard to the first VFR live stream.
232, radar contact, stay altitude.
We are on
Passing 1,600.
We are on VATSIM today, flying the CRJ-700 from LaGuardia to Washington, D.C.
Right turn 070, climb and maintain.
Keeping an eye on traffic as we get into D.C., figure out which way they're going. Last I checked,
Brickyard 1616, leaving my airspace. New York Center is offline. Radar services terminated. Frequency change to advisory approved. Have a good flight.
Going to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. Brickyard 1616. All right, we're over to Unicom. We should. Let's see. I don't know if Washington Center's online or not. Looks like we do have Washington Center, so we'll be talking to them shortly, 133.725, and we can just be a little proactive and tune that in. I was kind of surprised for, we got a good, decent coverage for Friday afternoon. (725). And if you want to follow along, we're on Volanta. We're tracking the flight on Volanta. We are on VATSIM, the VATSIM network, flying the CRJ-700. Live weather, live time, everything. And this is really just a classic, really a classic milk run, I like to call it. Down and back, it's about an hour flight. Usually a pretty full flight, pretty busy flight. Between major U.S. cities. I have a few of these. Atlanta, from really anywhere, but Baltimore to Atlanta, Washington to Atlanta, Dulles to Atlanta. Good to get comfortable flying into Atlanta, especially if you like to fly Delta stuff. Again, we're in the American Eagle. Again, we're in the American Eagle retro livery. One of my favorites to come out. Just a classic. So we're climbing out over a snowy New York, New Jersey. We're probably over New Jersey, heading towards Pennsylvania now. We're climbing down through 16,000 feet, so we'll be ready to level off. We're not going to let that catch us off guard. We're going to be cruising around 280 knots. We're actually not going to get to transition altitude today, because, again, this is a short flight. Alright, it's good to be back flying. It's good to be back on VATSIM. Haven't done a lot of VATSIM flying over the winter break. But it is a fun challenge, especially if you know your airplane and have a checklist. It takes a lot of the stress out of it, I find. That's the biggest thing that really helps me enjoy it, is having a checklist that I work on and make sure that works for what I do and my flow. That's the biggest thing I think you can do to help yourself, getting used to that. And then it feels you're just following the steps as you're flying. We're about 300 knots, Mach 0.61. We're not really even high enough to go into Mach mode. We're heading direct Biggie, if we zoom out a little bit. Biggie, and then we're going to head Copes and MXE. And that's bugging me. I can't remember what that one is. Medina, MXE 113.2 is the VOR station we're tracking towards. That'll be the beginning of our descent into Washington, assuming everything goes smoothly. We do have Washington Center online. It looks like Baltimore approach is online. I don't think they cover DCA. It's always hard to tell with these approach controls, where there's a bunch of airports together. They have the MATAR posted down in DCA, but looks like 3 or so departures. I logged on today to LaGuardia, and I saw there were like 7 departures. So LaGuardia has actually been pretty busy today. They've had New York approach on. Looks like JFK approach is on now too. It's good to see. A good, decently staffed. I mean, we're really, if you look at VATSIM right now, Eastern U.S., Northeastern U.S., We got Boston Center, we got DC Center, we got Indy Center, we got Cleveland Center, we got Chicago Center, we got Toronto Center. We have, I don't know what CZQM is, one of those oceanic Newfoundland centers. DC Center's online, Atlanta Center's online. We're really in the only hole where we don't have a center controller right now. So honestly, pretty good for a midday stream. Yeah, we're holding 300 knots. We can probably take off our anti-ice, but it's going to be important to remember as we descend back through this cloud layer. It is cold. It's snowy here in the East Coast. Cold and snowy on the East Coast. Flight time should be about an hour and 10 minutes. I didn't start the timer. And I really should. That's why I'm not an airline pilot. So we are pretty excited. There's a few things coming down the pike that should be fun. Working on some, been flying the King Air a little bit too. Doing some more rugged flying with that one. Going out into the bush. So there's some stuff coming on the, we're looking at King Air in the near future. And then after that, I think we did a quick Montana trip out to a few national parks out in Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana area. Should be fun taking the Piper Era, learning a little bit more about that one. And then 2 weeks, yeah, we're looking at Twin Otter coming out. I'm not big time. I don't get the preview copy, but thinking of cool routes to do with the Twin Otter, another Aerosoft product. And I really like the CRJ. I think it's a really good, really fun airplane. Yeah, more manual with no auto throttle, but a little quirky. But it is good fun, and I feel pretty comfortable in it at this point. So I'm looking forward to the Twin Otter. It should be kind of a fun mix between a GA and an airliner airplane. We've got to find somewhere to fly. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly. We can look up Twin Otter here, see what's going on. And I know a few of the European ones, and a few European areas where they fly them. But United States Army parachute team. I didn't know that. We could go out to Fort Bragg. That could be fun. Let's just pull it up. Put the overlay on. It didn't pick up the airplane, and that's okay. So for anyone joining, we're going to look at Wikipedia on the Twin Otter, because that's kind of the next big one. Do we have a contact me? Looks like it. All right, so let's put the let's put that away for a second. Twin Otter should be fun, but we're in the CRJ now, and the CRJ is perfectly good.
0.7.
100.7, you have a good day. PS 2785A.
Washington Center, Brickyard, 1616. We're at flight level 170.
Brickyard 1616, Washington, squawk 0513.
Squawking 0513, Brickyard, 1616.
Delta 5571, fly heading 350.
350, Delta 71.
So we'll go 05.
Southwest 1500, descend via the Chesley 5, arrival Charlotte, landing north to Greensboro, altimeter 3018.
You'll descend via the Chesley 5.
Yeah, Jeffrey, it really does. I've seen a lot of it. Just kind of planning what flights to do with it at this point.
JetBlue 502, radar contact 24 miles.
U.S. Air Force stuff.
VOR,
They do some
and
skydiving.
take your flight plan as you go into Myrtle Beach.
I don't know.
Is that an old flight plan, possibly?
There's a lot of bush flying that you can do with it too. A lot of cargo. I'm excited for all the variants. That's really the fun thing, and it's underrated. Just having a dedicated cargo or passenger airplane. I think that really helps.
If you want to
should be a really nice mix between
you want to take
this
and
kind of flying
we're going to, I can change
that
it
we're
for
doing
you.
now and the GA flying that I really like too.
FedEx 300, turn right heading 170, and I almost got the flight plan for you.
Roger, 170 for FedEx 300, thank you, sir.
All right, so we had passed Biggie. We're now direct Copes. We'll hit the Medina VOR MXE, and that is the beginning of
November
the CAPS.
50 Whiskey Hotel.
Or, sorry, Clipper arrival. So.
And FedEx 300, I got the new route for you. Let me know when you're ready to hear it.
We're ready to... Hold on.
All right, so we'll talk through the... we're getting ready for the departure, really.
November 0 Whiskey Hotel. I think I see you, but you're squawking.
We got the Medina VOR.
Sure squawking mode C and 0555.
We'll be We are a turbojet, so we're not expecting 11,000 there.
Sorry about that.
We're going to go in by a belay and then clipper. We're expecting 12,000 at Trish, so that'll be pretty kind of pretty soon.
FedEx 300, it's going to
we'll be descending for
Brock.
shortly.
That's Bravo Romeo.
Baltimore
Oscar,
will be at
Sierra
10,000
Sierra,
feet, 250
and then
knots.
Q419.
And then just keep on descending.
Kennedy,
We'll be kind of
VOR,
pulling up
Juliet,
to the north of
Foxtrot,
DC,
Kilo,
flying
Roebuck,
alongside, almost
3
like on a
arrivals
long
in Boston.
downwind for runway 1.
Alright, got that.
That's my assumption. If we need to go to runway 19, if that's what they're doing, we'll go ED, DWD, MEGs, and NAYs. It's easy enough. We'll try not to bust the restricted zone.
Proceeding direct Brock, FedEx 300.
But that's always the goal. I appreciate the DC tower guys have a counter on their Twitch streams for how many people bust the airspaces. I have been one of those people.
Delta 5571, the river, 12 o'clock, about 10 miles.
Delta 5571, we have the river.
Delta 5571 cleared, Mount Vernon visual, runway 1.
Yep, so they're doing runway 1.
Visual, runway 1, approach, Delta 5571.
Mount Vernon visual. Let's see if we can pick them up on Fat Spy.
And JetBlue 502, I got your new flight plan. Looks like you're on to Philly.
So that Delta's an A321
Roger, climb maintain,
out
flight
of
with 390.
Atlanta, Georgia.
They're after 390.
Fairwing 1446, contact Potomac approach 119.7. We'll see you.
197, thanks for the help. Be safe. See ya.
Dropping down to around 280 knots. We'll keep it. We'll keep pushing.
American 1214, descending for flight level 120.
1214, Roger. December the Trish 3 arrival, Baltimore landing west.
Baltimore landing left, American 1214.
All right. All things are good. Let's get the checklist ready for our descent. Checklist on the way down, not as many things as on the way up. FMS landing performance. Wow, we're pretty good there. I think we said all that.
50 Whiskey Hotel radar, contact
We
climb
briefed the
maintain, flight level
approach.
400.
We have all our nav aids in. We're not going to use the ILS, I don't think. We may. We haven't gone above transition altitude, so we don't need to go reset the barrel. Cross flow override will go to auto when ready to descend.
American 841, Washington Center, cleared to Chicago International Airport, waiting 5 departure, Remy transition, then as FOD, climb via SID, expect 340 and 10, squawk 0526. American 841, cleared to Chicago International Airport, wing 5 departure, Remy, then as FOD, climb via SID, 340 and 10, squawk 0526.
I'm just playing around the sound too, so if the sound is wonky.
American 841, runway 1 will be for departure, reback correct, and advise ready for taxi.
ATC's loud in my ear.
Copy, runway 1.
I don't know what Streamlabs is doing to it. And again, this is our first airliner stream. It's something I want to try more of. Just it gives me an excuse to fly airliners. It's sometimes harder to cut up the videos for airliner flying. It's all not kind of the same, but you hit a lot of the same
Delta 5571,
same
wind
things when you're doing it.
3014, gust 20, runway 1, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 1, Delta 5571.
So this is a format that is conducive to
Swiss 1514,
streaming.
heavy descendant via the Hyper 8 arrival, Dulles landing north, the Dulles altimeter 3013.
And I'm a little rusty on CRJ, so we will see how the landing goes. We'll try not to put it in the river. So yeah, Twin Otter's real excited. Looks real nice. Saw some good. I was also looking at the Kodiak, the Quest Kodiak. It seems like two kind of similar airplanes coming out at the same time.
2904, proceed direct Lynchburg.
Could definitely be pretty fun, especially for that
Direct to
kind
Lynchburg, Delta 2904.
of heavier bush flying.
And American 2112, Washington, hello.
I'm just gonna try and hold 300. New throttle too, so we're trying to just
2112,
figure out where
I'll
that
get you
sweet
higher
spot
in
is.
About, looks like about 16 miles once you get out of Atlantis airspace.
DC Center, FedEx 300. My plane's trying to figure out the process. Am I able to just direct JFK?
And FedEx 300, yeah, sure. Proceed direct Kennedy.
Direct Kennedy, thank you, sir.
All right, we're about 10 miles from MXE. That will be the start of our descent, as long as they're cleared for it. We'll need
Southwest 1500, contact Atlanta Center 132.907.
297 for Southwest 1500.
Systems are looking good. We can pull up the DCA ATIS. We're expecting Mount Vernon visual and ILS for runway 1, so that's a good... we can pull that up.
Washington Center, American 1984, spot 6 with information Charlie ready to taxi.
American 1984, runway 1, taxi via Kilo Golf Juliet, cross runway 4.
Kilo Golf Juliet, cross runway 4 for runway 1, American 1984.
We'll pull up the ILS too, just for...
And Brickyard 1616, you still on this frequency?
Still with you, Brickyard 1616.
Okay, just making sure, thank you.
Oh yeah, the Skymaster. That could be fun too. Again, kind of these, yeah, some of these larger, almost GA. Well, they are GA planes, but it is kind of interesting because you could fly some more. I'd love to fly some more technical IFR stuff with them.
Delta 2238, expect the Mount Vernon visual runway 1.
That was Delta. Hopefully I didn't miss him. He was calling me, but haven't quite mastered the talking and listening.
With the flight level 310.
Southwest 1265, Washington, hello. Brickyard 1616, cross Trish at 12000, the Baltimore altimeter 3009, and Washington landing north.
Cross Trish at 12,000, Baltimore or Washington landing north, Brickyard 1616.
Washington Center.
All right, so we'll be descending to 12,000.
Mike Alpha at 5,000, direct Hagerstown.
We'll dial that in and punch in a speed.
And November 206 Mike, correction, 206 Mike Alpha, Washington, hello. Delta 3672, squawk 0561.
Coming back on a little bit of power. We got time to get down to Trish. We have 20 miles to Nuggy and then probably another 20 miles to go. So we've got some time.
16, contact Potomac approach 119.7.
Going to Potomac approach 119.7, Brickyard 1616. So we get Potomac approach, all right. So other than a brief interruption in New York, we are we're getting really good coverage today.
Skylink 03, clear to Chicago via Bond 3, departure Miami transition, then expired. Maintain 3000, expect flight level 340 in 10 minutes, departure on 126.1, squawk 2472.
Let's pull up the Clipper 2 real quick.
Clear to Chicago via Bud 3, expect flight level 340 in 10 minutes, initial time 3000, squawk 7772. On departure 26.1, Skylink 03.
Speed report 1046, join runway 33, left localizer, airport 1 o'clock, 10 miles, report cleared inside.
We're thinking about it, let's turn on our
anti-ice. 1446.
Speed report 1046, clear visual runway 33, left approach.
Cleared for the 33 left approach, thanks, 1446.
Southwest 3634, say altitude.
Potomac approach is busy today.
Southwest 3634, turn left, direct Swan, climbing maintain 14,000.
Sorry again, lost transmission.
Southwest
I assume we're on the north side frequency. I don't know how they all work, but
climbing maintain 14,000.
it looked like they were covering mostly Baltimore.
Can we left direct Swan, climb maintain 14,000, 3654.
Skylink 03, the back is correct. Precision start at your dispersion. Corporate taxi 126.1, expect runway 30 for departure.
Washington approach, Skylink 10, requesting clearance to Chicago.
Skylink 10, stand by.
Skylink 03 didn't understand the last piece, sorry.
Expect 5 minutes delay for Allegiant 2419.
5 minutes.
And Southwest, last transmission with Southwest cosine, go ahead.
Southwest 997, uniform 1 ready for departure.
Southwest 3907, wind 310.16, gust 28, runway 28, clear for takeoff, squawk mode Charlie.
Clear for takeoff from runway 28, Southwest 3907.
Potomac approach, Brickyard 1616, descending through 14,500 for 12,000.
Brickyard 1616, Potomac approach. Cross Baltimore at 10,000, speed 250. Washington landing north.
Cross Baltimore 10,000 at 250 knots. Brickyard 1616.
Departure chat 336, very protect.
And so we're descending. They're just giving us it piece by piece. We're descending via the Clipper 2. We're just not necessarily cleared to descend via the Clipper 2. It's a kind of small.
285 Bravo Charlie, number 1, Jazz 23.
Skylink 03, contact 126.1.
Small thing, but small detail, but it is interesting.
126.1.
So we're descending now into
Skylink
DC.
10, contact 126.1.
Nice and busy on frequency today. We've got a few airplanes, mostly I think into Baltimore.
126.1, Skylink 10.
So these Skylinks.
Allegiant 2419, clear to
A300, A320,
clear to
Southwest 737. So
radar vectors to LG,
good fun. It looks like there's a few departures coming out of DCA too. That should be good.
Departure on 126.1, squawk 2442.
So we're still heading down to Trish. We got lots of time and room, so we're just kind of lazily descending. Doing a speed climb or a speed descent.
1446, sorry to break. We're clear to land.
We're following nav, and we're expecting the river visual into DCA, or the Mount Vernon visual, I should say. Still in a river.
3 to left, clear to land. Sorry about that.
Allegiant 2419, leadback is correct. Contact 126.1 for push and taxi.
All right, so we are heading down. I mean, out of all the airports with interesting arrivals, at least in the U.S., I really like DCA. I think it's a good challenge, especially the visual approaches. It takes a little bit of, takes some practice. It's good.
Skylink 17, standby. Skylink 3, push and start at your discretion. Corporate taxi, expect runway 30 for departure.
Skylink, where are those guys? And departing out of DCA, looks like we got an A320, 737, and one
American
listed.
1214, flight level 120.
Southwest 3634, contact Washington Center 133.72.
13372,
All right.
Southwest 3634, bye.
So we're on descent into
UPS
DCA.
2785, turn right, heading 27.
And thank you all for coming along on our first. Just
All right, heading 270, join low class runway 28.
Thanks for coming along on our first live stream. It's good fun. I've had a lot of fun. Airlining flying is really conducive, I think, to this kind of format, more so than even cutting it up. So it's just good fun, and I like to get back into the CRJ.
Passing 2,700 Southwest.
Yeah, DC3, that'd be fun.
3907, radar contact direct swan, climbing maintain 14,000.
Good DC3. I mean, the DC6 is...
Direct swan, Southwest 3907.
DC6 is a lot of fun, one of my favorites.
You got blocked on that?
It really takes... DC3 would be really cool, too. You get to do a lot of the Berlin airlift stuff. You get to do some World War II stuff. 2 engines instead of 4, so it's a little bit more manageable, but still just a classic airplane.
American Tour 14, Potomac approach, descend via 33, arrival expect vectors 033, left approach, altimeter 3009, import.
Just a classic airplane.
Altimeter 3009.
Well, yeah, C-47.
American 1214.
Skytrain.
Descending via the Hyper 8 arrival.
Sierra Whiskey Lumi 1544.
Lots of fun stuff, and you probably can. I don't know what you'd probably go into shorter fields than DC6. Crossing the Atlantic would be fun. I do want to do that in the DC6 too, but it really does just feel. Sometimes the DC6 is kind of big to go some places you might want to go.
Approach Fairwinds 1446. We're off at 33 left at Romeo.
So DC3 would be really cool.
Superior 1446, welcome to Baltimore, text to gate at your discretion.
Alright, so we're crossing Trish at 12,000. We'll go down to 10,000 now. And Baltimore is the VOR. I think it's BAL, I don't know. Yeah, BAL. So BAL, and we got a speed restriction there, so we'll just start kind of thinking about heading back to 250
All
knots.
stations at Dulles requesting taxi. Stand by. Expect 10 minutes delay.
Ike Stall's a little busy. It was always good to see kind of what I consider my home region in flight sim. It's good to see it busy, even if it's a little inconvenient sometimes.
Sierra Whiskey Romeo 1544, say again, core sign only.
Alright, we got Baltimore off the nose. As we descend here into DC, we will probably be passing...
Swiss 1544, Potomac
I don't know.
Expect visual runway 1 right, Dulles altimeter 3013.
No, we'll be passing over the field at BWI, Baltimore Washington International.
Zambia Hyper 8 arrival, expect visual runway 1 right.
And I don't think going out to the landing north we won't...
6 Mike Alpha, expect visual runway 27.
We won't get very close to... Gonna hit the button
6
to
Mike
Dulles,
Alpha
but
is,
if we were landing east, we could hit
Martin.
all the big airports.
Sorry about that. Expect runway 27. Actually, stand by.
Expect runway 27 at Martinsburg. 6 Mike Alpha.
All right, just trying to figure out where all these people are, out of curiosity. Got an American departing, an American A320 departing DCA. Looks like a Delta coming in.
Jazz 2386, traffic.
We're just about there. And there's a cluster of them coming into BWI.
31816, Gulf 28.
Good fun. Good to see it busy. Glad we have some control. If you like flying in the eastern U.S., man, VATSIM is the way to go. I need to break out and fly more places. I mean, doing some West Coast flying might be fun, and we might try to make this more of a regular thing. West Coast flying would be fun, doing some...
Southwest 3907, contact Washington...
Keeping with the CRJ ops, probably, but...
Contact Washington 133.725.
Of course, we haven't landed yet. We're going to try not to put it in the river.
2785, heavy wind 310 at 16, gust 28, traffic loading out on runway 28, clear to land.
Runway 28, UPS 2785 heavy, thank you.
Wow, and they got the Patapsco all iced over. It's a bit dramatic. So we're coming in on Baltimore. We need to be at 250 knots. We're at about 250 knots. And 10,000 feet at Baltimore. We're expecting
6 Mike Alpha, expect visual
landing north. Just to go back to the chart real quick.
Expect visual 26, 6 Mike Alpha.
So we are crossing Baltimore here.
UPS 2785 going around, wind shear warning.
UPS 2785.
And we're going to hit eyes and then kind of fly alongside Washington, D.C. It's going to be off our right-hand side as we head down Brunk, Felty, and Cavity.
Passing at 2000 for 5000, heading 220 for the moment.
UPS 2785, radar contact.
We'll probably get vectors into final too. And the other thing we'll look at, I think they're giving out the visual approach.
If you can get me to 33 left this time, we'll make
so
it.
the Mount Vernon visual is real simple, especially compared to the river visual.
UPS 2785, heavy roger.
You're just really kind of tracking inbound. You follow the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. You have you have a DME arc, but it's not nearly as crazy. Just
1616, contact Washington Center 133.72.
Going to Washington Center 133.72. Thanks, Brickyard 1616. So we're back off to Washington Center. Washington Center, Brickyard 1616, where it's 10,000 crossing Ball.
Brickyard 1616, Washington, hello again. Expect the Mount Vernon visual runway 1, the Washington altimeter 3018.
Expecting Mount Vernon visual runway 1, Brickyard 1616. And let's turn off the overlay, because I don't
Delta 2238, you have the river in sight, 12 o'clock, about 2 miles now.
Yeah, Clayton, we're almost done. This is going to be a shorter stream, just because I'm trying to get all the technical aspects set up.
798 Washington.
Then I want to watch it back and make sure
wind
sounds are good and everything.
11, gust 18, runway 5 clear. Takeoff, fly, runway
So thanks for coming along for whatever you can. And it's good fun. It's
2238, clear map for visual, runway 1, wind 290 at 10, gust 23, runway 1.
Yeah, it's good fun. So we're going to fly Mount Vernon visual. We'll probably back it up with the ILS, just because we got it. And it's simple enough. We have the localizer on 109.9.
1542 here at DCA. Radio check.
1542, Washington, 5x5.
We'll go ahead and tune that in just for a little bit of backup
Roger,
help.
thank you.
They'll be vectoring us into the visual approach.
7889 Washington, you on this frequency?
Again, once you hit visual approach, it's really a straight shot.
And Delta 7889, it looks like you just popped up, squawk 0515.
And I'm going a little fast. Let's back it off.
0515.
Well, thanks, Clayton. I appreciate it. It's fun to put it out.
Washington Center, United.
It helps me do fun things, too. It gets me out of ruts. It helps me explore more. Definitely. Fly different planes. It's
Center, runway 5, line away, traffic departing.
It's always really good stuff, and we'll try and make this a more regular thing. It's just a good way to fly airliners.
798, say altitude passing.
And other planes, but
Delta 798, radar contact, climb, maintain.
Takes away some of the post-processing.
Salisbury, VOR, Sierra, Bravo, Yankee.
We're just a little below 250 knots. They might slap our hand. It's probably not that bad.
United 2055, wind 290 at 11, gust 18, fly runway heading, runway 5, clear for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, runway 5, clear for takeoff.
So we're going to keep anti-ice on for now. We're still kind of in the danger zone. I didn't let the people get up and go to the bathroom. Seatbelt signs are still on.
DC Center, JetBlue 1542, I-4 clearance to Boston.
Cross-flow, override. We're going to go to on.
Delta 7889.
We're going to go to auto.
Miles east of the Roanoke VOR, flight level 340.
And we'll light up. Strobes, landing lights.
That's JetBlue 1542. W1542, cleared to Boston Logan National Airport, Silky 5 departure Swan, then as file, McClimb via SID, 230-110, squawk 0521.
Conditions are pretty good.
I cleared it to Boston International
3018
via the Silky 5
altimeter.
departure, and Clyde via SID. Flight level 230 10 minutes after departure. Departure with you, squawk 0521 for JetBlue 1542.
All right, so we're tuned in, and just off our nose, Washington, D.C., the nation's capital.
Well advised for taxi, expect 1 for departure, JetBlue 1542.
Delta 7889, contact Atlanta Center 132.907.
3297 on Atlanta Center. We'll see you later.
I'm going too fast.
DC Center, American 841 is ready to taxi.
It's just so easy to do that in the CRJ. That's the it's the hard thing about it. It's just so easy to lose control of your speed.
United 2055, say altitude passing.
United 2055 passing 1,300 for 4,000.
United 2055, radar contact, climb maintain 14,000, proceed direct thump.
Climb 14,000, direct thump, United 2055.
And we'll just make sure
there's...
there's...
ready for taxi?
No.
American 841.
No other altitude restrictions or...
American 841, runway 1, taxi via Kilo Golf Juliet, cross runway 4.
We're listening to ATC for this
Kilo Golf
last bit.
Juliet to taxi runway 1, cross runway 4.
Andrews Air Force Base off to our left.
Brickyard 1616, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000, Brickyard 1616. All right, so we're going down to 6,000 feet.
Exit Jet 374, contact Atlanta Center 132.907.
And we'll do a speed descent.
Over Atlanta, yeah, thanks for everything. Exit Jet 374.
Now the ILS has us coming in at 2,500. I'm not as familiar with the Mount Vernon visual. It's just more straightforward than the, I say that, we haven't done it yet. But we'll start it at 2,500 out over the Potomac. And then we'll come in. They recommend 1,600. Kind of crossing 6 miles from the airport.
Southwest 3634, crossing news at flight level 270.
We'll cross news at 270, Southwest 36.
And now you can see the airport right off our nose. As we make our left-hand turn onto kind of a long IFR down.
Fair wing 5538, verify squawk mode Charlie.
And we're coming well off the power just because, just get us down.
2238, taxis parking via Kilo.
It's best to be down where you need to be. Haven't really gotten a good
Jazz 2036 Washington, climb maintain level 240.
wing views or anything, but again, short flight, really just a technical figure out how this streaming thing works.
Gust 17, runway 23 right, clear for takeoff,
It's
runway
good stuff. We'll do some longer stuff in the future. Those of you just joining us, we are on approach into Washington, D.C., KDCA.
Southwest 1699 Washington, hello.
We're on the Clipper 2 arrival into, we're expecting the river visual, or we're expecting the Mount Vernon visual.
550 ready.
Washington landing north.
American 550, runway 1 taxi via Kilo Foxtrot Juliet to cross runway 4.
Kilo Foxtrot Juliet, cross runway 4.
We're coming on down. Thanks for coming to the inaugural VFR live stream.
Delta 8798.
We have done one before for the Reno Air Races, but that was really kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. Doesn't really count.
13297 Delta 8932 here.
Brickyard 1616, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend maintains 3000, Brickyard 1616. We'll just keep on heading downhill. 3000.
Washington Center, United 2055.
2055 Washington.
I'm assuming Dulles is landing north today.
2055 as of right now, yes sir.
All right, we'll expect a north transition, United 2055.
Center, Southwest 1265 at roll 6000.
Southwest 1265, descend and maintain 4000. Expecting Mount Vernon visual runway 1.
Descend and maintain 4000, we'll expect the visual for runway 1. Southwest 1265.
Southwest 3634, contact Boston Center 134.7, have a good day.
4347, 3634, thanks, bye.
Southwest 3907, cross news at flight level 270.
Cross news at flight level 2, we're already above flight level 270, so should we descend to Southwest 3907?
Southwest 3907, just cross news at 270, whenever you need to descend to get to that waypoint at 270 is up to you.
Roger, yeah, cross news at flight level 270, Southwest 3907.
Brickyard 1616, turn right heading 280, vectors to final. Fair wing 5538, say altitude. Fairwing 5538, say altitude passing. Hang on, I think my AFE busted all the way across standby, they got to restart it.
Washington Delta 8932 is back with you, flight level 360. Atlanta said to come back and call you.
And 8932, you said Atlanta told you to call me?
Yeah, you told us to contact Atlanta. I called them and they said to call you again.
It must have been a missed call, because I didn't tell you to contact me. Maybe it was a different Delta.
Okay, no problem. Well, we're back here with you anyway, Direct Lynchburg.
I appreciate it, sir. Brickyard 1616, turn right heading 020. JetBlue 502, cross Heckman at 9,000, the Philly altimeter 3006.
Down to 9,000 once we get to, what was the waypoint, sorry?
JetBlue 502 Heckman.
Heckman at 9,000, and what was the altimeter, sorry?
3006.
3006, cross Heckman at 9,000, JetBlue 502.
Southwest 3907, contact Boston Center 134.7. Regard 1616, the river, 1 o'clock, 6 miles. And 1616, you're static when you talk, sir. Jazz 2386, Lima airspace to the north, New York Center offline, radar service terminated, change to advisory approved.
Alright, so it looks like we're a little muted.
6299, descend via the Anthem 3, arrive at Baltimore, landing west, the Baltimore altimeter 3014.
The value of a radio check.
Anthem 3, landing west, Southwest 6299.
Center Brickyard 1616, we got the river in sight.
1616, thank you very much. Clear Mount Vernon, visual runway 1.
Cleared Mount Vernon, visual runway 1, Brickyard 1616.
Southwest 1265, turn left heading 120, vectors to final.
Left heading 120, Southwest 1265.
Center American 841 is ready to go, runway 1.
American 841, wind 290 at 10, gust 23, runway 1 cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 1, American 841.
We're just going to go ahead and take control as we fly the... It's been a while since I monkeyed with the CRJ. It's better just to take control now. Once we cross over, it's frozen Potomac here. So we're descending about 16,000. We'll be because we're about 11 mile final. For the runway, we've got the glide slope. And we can now go...
Southwest 1265, descend and maintain 3,000, turn left heading 030.
Fully configured, gear down.
Left heading 030 and down to 2,000 for Southwest 1265.
And Southwest 1265, 3,000.
Gear down, flaps down. We'll be shooting to descend at
3,000 for Southwest 1265.
Brickyard 1616, wind 290 at 10, gust 23, runway 1, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 1, Brickyard 1616. And we're a
United
little...
2055, descend via the Cavalier 4, arrival, Dulles landing north, the altimeter 3016.
Now, if we do have to go around,
Send me the Cavalier 4.
don't go straight because you're going to bust the airspace, or the restricted airspace. We're going to come off to the left
Center Walker 845, flight level.
if we need to go missed. We're down at 140
Walker 845,
knots.
Washington Center, squawk 0506.
Let the nose come down just a touch. Maintain airspeed. Catch up with the glide slope.
United 624, descend via the Freedom 5, arrival, Washington landing north, the Washington altimeter 3018.
We will arm reversers. Hopefully we don't need them.
Southwest 1265, the river 12 o'clock, 6 miles.
And that's the Woodrow Wilson Bridge in front of us.
Center 1265, we have it, right?
Southwest 1265.
We're at 8 miles, 2,000.
290 at 10, gust 23, traffic CRJ on a 7-mile final, runway 1, clear to land.
Cleared for the Mount Vernon visual, runway 1 approach, runway 1 clear land, and we have the traffic side, Southwest 1265.
American 841, say altitude.
All right, we got the traffic too.
2,300 for 2,300.
American 841, radar contact, climb, maintain flight level 340.
Flight level 340, American 841.
And we're hand flying this because I didn't really program in the ILS, and I'm not monkeying with autopilots on final.
614 Washington, hello, descend via the Freedom 5, arrival, Washington landing north, the
It's good practice, good for the soul. Builds character, all that
via
jazz.
the Freedom 5 arrival, expect runway 01, and we have Delta for National.
Walker 845, radar contact, 13 miles northeast of the Liberty VOR 410. American 2112 across.
We're about a little high now.
180.
We want to be at 1,600 feet at 6 miles. So again, we're just going to kind of let the nose come down a little bit, descend a little bit.
Delta 627 Washington, hello, proceed direct waves.
Now we're below the glide slope, just a touch.
Washington Center, United 1439 is about 16 miles
And we're a little off to the right, so just a
to
little
the
bit
west,
left.
follow 370.
United 1439 Washington, hello.
It's good for you, running your
Washington Center, FedEx 1232 Heavy, requesting FR2, both when you get
hand flying and approach.
FedEx 1232 Heavy, Washington, contact with Potomac departure, correction 119.7.
Never claimed to be a CRJ expert. All right. 4 mile final. We're all lit up. Things are looking good. We've got full flaps. Gear is, in fact, down. We got 2 white, 2 red on the poppies. We're a little off to the right. We want to be a little off to the left. But, you know, all things considered, we're looking pretty good. Now we're going to try and hit reversers. Hopefully I didn't unbind the reverser button in tinkering for other airplanes, but we'll see. We are looking pretty good here. We're a little slow, if anything. 120, we'd like to be a little bit at 140, but that's okay. Come on and down. We're not going to dump ourselves into the river, which is the most embarrassing thing that you can do.
Washington Center, United 1439. I have a question. So I'll be descending via the CAPS 3 arrival, and is it going to be the Tango Hotel, Hotel Mike Papa transition?
1439, it looks like you have the waves transition in your flight plan.
Okay.
All right, we're coming down. We're on the glide slope. Glide slope's looking good. Lineup's looking pretty good. Again, we're just a little right. I think we've got a bit of a crosswind. Winds were strong today. It was like 20 knots coming out of LaGuardia. I didn't really catch what they were here. Shows how good of a pilot I am.
12 Washington, you on this frequency?
And let's see how much my depth perception was messed up by flying other airplanes this week. We're over the threshold. We're going to come back on the throttle. Just let it kiss down. A little bit of a bounce.
Number 46 Lima Golf Bravo, Washington, squawk 0512.
And we are down. Welcome, everybody, to Washington. Reagan National Airport, Washington, D.C. We're going to taxi on off here. Yeah.
November 908-189, Washington, hello.
Get out of the way for the oncoming traffic.
3022.
And welcome aboard. All right.
Clear skies 12, Washington, you on this frequency?
Turn anti-ice off.
Skylink 12, Washington, you on this frequency?
Now we're just waiting to taxi. So pulling up the taxi chart. DCA, we do have a scenery. I've got the Drzecki Designs DCA. One of the few sceneries I have. I don't generally do a ton of sceneries.
Brickyard 1616, taxi to parking via Kilo. Have a good day.
Taxi to parking via Kilo. Thanks for the ATC. Brickyard 1616. And DCA is kind of a, when we're talking about taxi diagrams, DCA is kind of a...
November Lima Golf Bravo, radar contact.
Kind of a mess.
50 miles northeast of the Cedar Lake VOR, flight level 200.
We turn off ATC for now. Yeah, DCA as far as taxiing, it looks like a big mess, but it's really pretty simple. We've got Kilo right in front of us. We're just going to taxi on across and find a gate to park up at. Keeping an eye out for other folks. Checking on who else is here. That doesn't really look like too much going on. That's why we've got 2 arrivals, 4 departures at DCA. Looks like a few Americans, a 737, a CRJ-9, an A320, 737A-8, and then a couple more A320s. All right, so welcome to DCA. Again, this is going to be a shorter stream, everybody. This is kind of a technical proof of concept. Make sure that we're all looking good. But thanks, everyone, for coming along. It's been a lot of fun to put together. And again, I do enjoy flying these kinds of flights. It's just sometimes hard to cut them all together, especially airliner flights, because they tend to be not the same, but it's a lot of the same stuff. And a lot of the interesting stuff about airliner flying is just a lot of the it's just the problem solving and understanding it live as you go through it. I think is just a really interesting and different thing that brings to the sim. Paul says, nice approach. May buy this airplane. It looks good. It is good. If you don't have an airliner in Flight Simulator, again, I haven't flown the A320, fly-by-wire A320 in a while. So I'm not really up to date on what's going on with that one. But it's my go-to for this kind of flying. I like to fly these short regional flights. I like flying in the northeastern United States. Yeah, it's kind of where I grew up, so I enjoy it. It takes me to relevant places. I see a lot of CRJs at airports around me when I'm flying places, so it makes sense. It's a good quality airplane, and it works pretty well. It's a little finicky, but, you know, you have to know how to work with it. It is really good. And we'll get the jetway out, and we'll get baggage doors open and call everybody to the party. We'll shut down the engines. We will bring the flaps. Well, it went really well until we turned the engine off without the APU on. That's okay. It's the next guy's problem. Thanks for coming around, everybody. Again, this is it's been good fun. We can put wheel chocks on, get our ground power card on. By no means am I a CRJ expert, but yeah, really fun stuff. I love the American Eagle stuff. And yeah, we'll try and make this more of a regular thing. It is good fun, and it's a good way to do the airliner flying. So thanks to everyone who's come along. And yeah, we're really kicking back in. I think we've got some fun projects planned for VFR here in the next few weeks. And yeah, really looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff happening in the sim right now. Thanks for coming along, everybody. This has been VFR. Take it easy, y'all.